Hello, everyone, and welcome to the National Inventor Club. My name is Brian Freed, and I'm excited for tonight's meeting. It's October 2022. Yes, October, and we have a great lineup tonight. Our main guest speaker is the CEO of SCORE, and you're going to find out a little bit more about how SCORE can help you grow your business and ideas. Bridget Weston is the CEO of SCORE, and you see her to the side there. Thank you, Bridget, for joining us. And we have some other information and informational people that are going to be able to help you with your invention ideas, entrepreneurial type of endeavors, and startups that are active out there. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I know that there's quite a bit of resources for inventors out there that are on our program. We have patent attorneys and patent agents and 3D printing people and CAD engineers, a lot of great resources that are also part of National Inventor Club. So please continue to be an active part of National Inventor Club. You can sign up as a free or paid member, nationalinventorclub.com. And a couple quick announcements. Actually, if you haven't received it already, you can take a look at Got Invention Show is having a Pitch Your Invention mini-series. Now, Got Invention Show, which I have the opportunity to host, we have taken it to the next level. So if you're an inventor with a prototype or if you have a prototype or a finished product, you're going to have an opportunity to pitch your invention for 2 minutes. No judging, no competition. Just get up there and pitch for 2 minutes and be proud. And I'm also proud to say that Got Invention Show is part of a network, DBNA, which now allows us to be actually to air on Amazon Fire, Roku TV, YouTube TV. We also have the podcast version on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google and Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music. So if you are out there listening or watching and you have an invention that's a finished product or a prototype, you have a chance to pitch your invention. Go to pitchyourinvention.com. There's still time to submit your idea. We're going to be looking and reviewing at the submissions in the next couple of days, so definitely take advantage of that. I'm also going to put in the chat the Inventor Smart monthly newsletter. There's a lot of great information in there for you. It's filled with tips and resources and the latest interviews from Got Invention Show. There's news from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. We have from the Small Business Administration. We have all different types of things that are added onto that newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. I'm going to be adding it into the comments section so everybody can sign up for that. What else do we have? I think that's it. I think we're good. The premium members of National Inventor Club, whether you're an inventor or a service provider, you've received a after meeting mastermind networking link that's in your email. So after our meeting, just click right on there, and then I'll see you in the after meeting networking event immediately following when this event ends. All right, so let's start off with Will Salas. He is let's see if I can make this happen this way. Let's try like this. There we go. Will, I'm going to put you on a solo once you get started. I think that'll be good. So, Will, you're from the Patent and Trademark Resource Center, which is a part of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what PTRC is and how you can help inventors with some tips and advice that you have for us.
Sure will. Thank you, Brian, for having me on, and thank you for all you do for us inventors and entrepreneurs out there. The PTRC, or Patent and Trademark Resource Center, is a free service. Basically, we work with the Patent and Trademark Office because it behooves them to get the word out. They want everyday people to be able to apply for patents and trademarks. And toward that end, they work with existing libraries around the country. Mostly it's university libraries, and some of them are public, like mine, the Smithtown Library in Long Island, New York. And what we do is we offer free advice to people who just don't know where to start or have gotten started and gotten stuck. What we offer is free databases, book collections, programming, and mostly what the real value of a PTRC is that we will demonstrate for you how to begin your patent search or how to search your mark at the Trademark Electronic Search System if you want to federally register your trademark. And so today I'm going to show you really quickly how to get a hold of someone like me. There's 88 patent and trademark resource centers literally all over the country. To find the one nearest you, I'm going to push my screen onto yours.
Let's see if we can make that happen, Will.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I see that coming up. Oh, let's see. See if we can get that. Go ahead. Well, we see it up there.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so if you're interested in finding a patent and trademark resource center near you, here I am at the uspto.gov website. And at the home page, you can hover over the Learning and Resources tab, scroll over to Resources by Audience, click on Research and Librarians. And here's the link for Patent and Trademark Resource Centers. Then you just follow the prompts to get to the PTRC closest to you by state. So today, Brian, for my tip, I'm going to talk to you business owners or soon-to-be business owners, and I'm going to talk to you about trademarks. A trademark, of course, is your brand. You want to preserve your logo, stop others from using them, your logo, your symbol, your phrases that help people understand who is the source of the product. So what I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about is weak and strong marks. So when you have a moment, you want to scroll over Learning and Resources here. Actually, scroll over Trademarks here. Click on the Trademark Basics tab. And there's some really good information in this column about strong trademarks. Now, what do I mean about strong trademarks? Not everything is trademarkable. So what you want to do is make sure you pick something that's inherently distinctive, something that's very clearly yours. Now, the strongest trademarks there are, Brian, and as you know, are fanciful marks or arbitrary marks. Fanciful mark would be something that a word with no dictionary definition, like Exxon or Blimco or Pepsi. That's very, very distinctive and it's easily trademarkable. Another strong mark would be arbitrary terms. These are words that do have dictionary definitions, but they have nothing to do with the industry that they're in. For instance, Apple computers. Steve Jobs picked a really great one because Apples have nothing to do with computers. So it's inherently very strong and distinctive. Now, weak marks would be words that just are general terms for the products you're selling, because you don't want to stop other people who are selling products from simply describing what it is that they're selling. Also, a weak mark would be simply a surname. If your name is Smith and you sell skateboards, you really can't stop other skateboard manufacturers named Smith from using their own name. So if you want to learn more about strong and weak marks, please visit that page at the uspto.gov website, or you can visit with me or other PTRC librarians around the country, and we'll be happy. Also, you can learn an awful lot by reading what Brian's latest book. Brian, thank you for my copy. It's fantastic. I would say it's actually mouth-watering. That's a gratuitous plug for Brian's latest design patent. I couldn't help it, buddy.
Thank you, Will. And it was great seeing you the other day. Thank you for inviting me to your library.
Likewise.
PTRC, Patent and Trademark Resource Center. If you need help with searching your invention to start with and pulling prior art and looking at claims, find your local PTRC in your area and have the same type of experience like people have with Will locally by you. Thank you very much, Will. Be well, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, Brian.
Thank you. All right. Charlene Walters. She is an inspiration to the inventors and entrepreneurs out there. She has a book called Launch Your Inner Entrepreneur. And Charlene, if you can help us with some tips and advice today for the audience.
Definitely. I'd love to. And thanks so much, Brian, for inviting me on. I do a lot of different things and I work with entrepreneurs. I teach at the University of Connecticut and the University of Alaska, Anchorage, and I teach entrepreneurship and business classes. But what I found with working with so many entrepreneurs over the years is that a lot of this success really boils down to having the right mindset and having that ability to stick with it, even though it's hard, even though it's challenging. And sometimes even a lot of new inventors, new entrepreneurs suffer from something called imposter syndrome. And this is something I talk about in my book, which is called Launch Your Inner Entrepreneur from McGraw-Hill. And there are many different things that help encompass this entrepreneurial mindset. But I find that a lot of people in general suffer from imposter syndrome, or they feel like they don't belong. And this tends to get worse when you're embarking on a new project or something that you're not familiar with, which you will be if you're just jumping into a new business or you're jumping into a new idea. So some tips for overcoming it. Number one, before I even get into those, is just to know that a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome. A lot of people, even really successful people that you wouldn't think, do. So something that you can do to help yourself get out of it, the first tip is to just remind yourself of all of the wonderful and great things that you've accomplished. Sometimes we forget, we're down on ourselves, we're stuck in a setback or some kind of rejection. So I often recommend that people take a journal and just write down everything that they are doing and that they've achieved. And when you go back through that, you'll really remind yourself of how far you've actually come, even if you don't feel like it. The second tip I have is to actually call a friend. We all have those friends who lift us up when we're feeling down. And if you're struggling, you're having a bad day, things are not going right, call your friend to help pick you up, and they'll boost your confidence and remind you of everything that's great about you and what you're doing in your invention and why you need to keep going. The next thing you can do, and this one is, kind of a common knowledge thing, but it's so important. I find that whenever you're really feeling over your head, or you've got a new pitch coming up, or a big presentation, or something that's very important, just to prepare and practice on your friends, practice on your relatives, anyone who will listen, so that you'll be ready for that interaction when it comes up. Because the more confident you are, the better you'll do. The more rehearsed you are, the more you'll have it down when you have that actual audience in front of you. The next thing, the fourth tip, is to come up with some kind of mantra to tell yourself. And I always just tell myself simply, you can do it. It's going to be okay. Whatever it is, Mary, you're amazing. Sally, you've got this. Whatever you need to do when you're feeling that yourself struggling and you're getting into something negative. And finally, the last thing that you can do, the fifth tip, is just to remind yourself that it's really just negative internal talk. It's not really the truth. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You can do it. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and just talk yourself out of it. Remind yourself that it is only imposter syndrome and not the truth about you. But really, it's all a mental game, all about mindset.
Wow. Thank you, Charlene. Very interesting. Hold on one second. Let's get you out of the solo mode there. That was fantastic. Can you show us what your book looks like?
Sure. It's called Launch Your Inner Entrepreneur. It's from McGraw-Hill. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, anywhere books are sold.
And who should be buying your book, Charlene?
Everyone. It's actually aimed at women because there are some issues that women tend to struggle with more in business than men, but a lot of men read it too and can relate to it. So anyone who's starting a business and really just kind of wants to help, or launching a new product, help to improve their mindset and set them up for success as they move forward.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Great stuff. Launch Your Inner Entrepreneur, Charlene Walters, author, coach. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Brian.
Joining us as always. Thank you. All right, let's have Christopher Prone. He is from the USPTO Outreach Office, the Eastern region. And I know that people out there who are part of filing for patents or working on patents, Christopher is actually a primary examiner. So Christopher, welcome to National Inventor Club. Why don't you tell us who you are and what tips and advice and events or anything happening at US Patent and Trademark Office that you can help us with.
Great. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I've been a primary examiner for the USPTO for a little over 15 years. I've been reviewing applications in the biomedical arts. I work on a lot of different stents people hear about in surgeries lately, spinal fusions and prosthetic knees. So I cover a wide spectrum of that. It's always interesting. I get to meet a lot of big companies as well as doctors that are just working on stuff on their own. So definitely keeps things interesting. What My new detail that I'm working with in the Eastern Outreach Office, though, is we're really getting to take advantage and help people understand a lot more of the process and also get a lot of feedback. The USPTO is really focusing on increasing awareness of all the resources that we offer through our website and different trainings. We also are really looking to gather more stakeholder feedback. Director Vidal has been personally engaging with people directly at a lot of events lately. She's really seeking out that feedback of ways we can improve things, questions people have, how we can do things better, looking for different suggestions. We're just looking to do a much more of an impact. We also want to encourage everyone to check out on our website. If you go to our events page, uspto.gov/about-us/events, or you can just search events on our main page. And we have all kinds of things going on. We have Path to a Patent series that breaks down all the steps throughout. We have a trademark boot camp that really can take you through all the different aspects and help you get a better understanding of the process. We have multiple DocX trainings that are helping you become more familiar with that software and program. One of the ongoing programs that our outreach office is focused on is the blockchain. We have a blockchain stakeholder spotlight coming up on November 15th. We're giving all these different speakers and companies 3 to 5 minutes to really talk about who, what, when, where, and why their inventions in the blockchain and cryptocurrency are really making these impacts. So we have tons of resources there for you guys to help get you going, and just looking to build on that for everybody.
Thank you very much, Christopher. USPTO.gov, that's the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Every month, we have the opportunity to have somebody from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on National Inventor Club, sharing information to keep you moving forward with your ideas. Christopher, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right, let's have Erica Chase Gregory. She is from Farmingdale State College, and she runs the Small Business Development Center at the college. And Erica has been very involved with our Long Island inventors and entrepreneurs clubs back in the day, all the way now to helping us with National Inventor Club. If you haven't heard of Small Business Development Center, Erica's going to tell you about it, what resources are available for you, no matter what stage you're at, whether it's your invention or your business. Erica, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit more.
Thank you so much for having me tonight, Brian. It's a pleasure to be with you and everyone here who's tuning in. My name is Erica Chase. I'm the Regional Director of the Small Business Development Center at Farmingdale State College. We are one of 2 that are on Long Island. There is a SBDC at Stony Brook as well. And then in New York State, there are 22 other centers across New York State. So any county that you may be in New York State, you have an SBDC center near you. As well, there is an SBDC system in place in each state and in some of the territories. So what does that mean for you? An SBDC can help either individuals who are starting or who have existing businesses for whatever questions they have. So if you're new and you're just starting a business, you may need information about the regulatory aspects of starting that business. You may need a business plan or business plan development, small business startups, organizational structures. A lot of people don't know, should I have an LLC or a corporation? We can work through that with the individual. Financial planning, export assistance, if you're looking to go international with your product, personal and ownership succession, cost analysis. Am I going to make money at this? How do I make money at this? Looking at it, breaking it down. A lot of entrepreneurs will say, have this great product, I'm going to put it out there, and they haven't really done a deep dive in what are the costs included in creating that product. Marketing, strategic planning. We have lots of training programs. Ever since COVID, I think there's a great opportunity with all of the resources that are available to you through government or quasi-government agencies that we're all virtual now. So check out your SBDC, see what programs they have in terms of trainings for you. Veteran services, MWBE, procurement services, the list goes on and on. But there is an SBDC close to you. How you connect with an SBDC is you can search America's SBDC. Just Google America's SBDC. You're going to come up with that website. And then find my center near me. Click that. You put in your zip code, and you're going to find the network that's close to you. We are free for any individual who wants to come to us. We are a resource partner of the SBA. So we are part of the whole ecosystem of the technical assistance providers available to individuals, again, starting a small business or already having a small business. I've been on many times before, and I give tips. Typically, there's somehow surrounding, you need to use the resources. Do not go it alone. There's lots of resources, free resources for you to tap into. Tonight, you're going to be so lucky to hear from the CEO of SCORE. SCORE is another resource partner of the SBA. So we are a like agency to SCORE. We're set up a little bit differently, but we have lots of clients, and they'll say, hey, should I go to SCORE? And the answer is yes. You should connect with a SCORE mentor. They're free to you. You can work through business ideas, business, where you're at in your business. And I'm gonna let Bridget talk to you. Obviously, she's the star of tonight, and she's gonna tell you all about SCORE, but really don't go it alone. You have SCORE, you have SBDC, you have USPTO, you have lots of government agencies, and of course you have the Inventors Club. Here, Brian brings the resources to you. Tap into us, listen, and say, hey, I want to connect with SCORE. I want to connect with SBDC. So take it away, Bridget.
Thank you very much, Erica.
You're welcome.
As
Thank
always,
you.
appreciate you coming on and giving some tips and advice and feedback to the inventor community, to the startup entrepreneurs out there. So find your SBDC, your Small Business Development Center. It's a program through the Small Business Administration. You could go to americassbdc.com, and you can, is it .com or .gov?
It's .org.
.org. I'm glad I asked. americassbdc.org. Thank you, Erica. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Okay, now we'll get on to our guest speaker, Bridget Weston. She is the SCORE CEO. And if you see Kelly Twitchell, she's there, and she is a success story that came out of SCORE. And Kelly, we're going to be having you on a little later in the program. We're going to learn a little bit about SCORE first. Well, we'll probably learn a lot about SCORE and how Bridget and SCORE how the SCORE mentors can help. And then we're very excited to hear your story. So we'll keep you in the studio, and we're going to put the event up here. Here we go. All right. So Bridget, very nice to meet you. I've had the opportunity to speak to you offline. I love what SCORE does. You can explain in further detail. Me personally, I had a chance to use SCORE many, many years ago. There was on Long Island here. I know there's many of them. On Long Island, I had a chance to go to a SCORE mentor. I've also had some of actually the previous SCORE CEO on one of my radio shows back in the day. So I'm really excited to have you on. And I know the inventors, entrepreneurs, I don't know what to call them anymore. Inventors, entrepreneurs, startups. Look, when we come up with an idea, we're really starting a business, right? We're starting a business, and we have to do our research development. We have to find people and partners, and mostly people, to be able to help us and guide us with their experience. So Bridget, welcome. And maybe you can start off before we get into the whole presentation. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became SCORE CEO.
Sure. Well, Brian, thank you so much for having me and for giving us this opportunity to talk about SCORE to all of your amazing members of the National Inventors Club. And like you were saying, regardless of what you call yourselves, inventors, entrepreneurs, small business owners, you really are part of the lifeblood of our economy here in our country. And we are just so excited. You have the ideas, you have the expertise. We at SCORE, just like the SBDCs, the Patent Trademark Office, PTRC, I mean, all of us are here to help you and be a resource for you. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. I myself am a Philadelphia native, and my Phillies just made it to the World Series. So I'm very excited, still on cloud nine. But after I had graduated from college and gotten my master's, I had decided that while I had a knack for business, I really had a heart for a mission-oriented organization. So I was fortunate enough to find myself at SCORE in the marketing department. I had worked my way up, and 3 years ago, I was given the opportunity to step in as the acting CEO. We were able to then turn that into a full-time position. And just at that time, COVID hit. So it has been a whirlwind, just like many of our entrepreneurs and inventors here. And what we learn is that we don't have to go it alone. So even myself as the CEO of this amazing organization, I don't have to do this alone. I myself lean on mentors and other people who have been there, done that experience. So I'm excited to tell you all a little bit about what we do, but that's a little bit about me.
Thank you very much, Bridget. And what does SCORE actually stand for?
So SCORE does not stand for anything anymore. When we were founded, and I'll actually flip to the next slide, founded in 1964, we were founded by a group of volunteers of former DuPont executives. So it used to stand for the Service Corps of Retired Executives. However, nearly 60 years later, you do not have to be retired. You do not have had to have been an executive to be a member of SCORE. So we officially dropped that acronym a number of years ago, and we are simply SCORE. And because we've been around for nearly 60 years, we have helped more than 11 million people to start or grow or troubleshoot their businesses since our founding.
Very nice. Bridget, we're going to have questions that are coming in from the streaming channels. So as they're appropriate, we'll see if we can add them in. We'll also possibly hold them till the end. We'll keep your questions coming in. Look, for us inventors and startups, we need help. We need to find the right resources to help us, to trust, and SCORE is one of them. Now, I see there on the bottom right corner of your slide that it says SBA. Can you tell us your affiliation with them?
Sure. So just like Erica was saying, we are a resource partner of the Small Business Administration. So there's SCORE, SBDCs, there's also women's business centers, veteran business owned centers. And we really are part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem who is here to provide guidance, advice, education, and various other resources to make sure that aspiring and existing entrepreneurs can achieve their definition of success. And it's not our definition, right? Not everyone wants to be the next Facebook or, the next Tesla, although if you want to, great, I hope you can do it and we want to help you. But really it's about, SCORE helping you to achieve your definition of success and figuring out the best ways to get there. There are 32 million existing small business owners out there. There is more than enough to go around, and we are all standing ready to help you.
Excellent. You're going to tell us more about SCORE. These are retired executives that are volunteering their time through you and SCORE, all the different offices all around the country, and it's a free resource. We can have free advice with a mentor, and you try to match up as close as possible. And I don't want to give it all away, but this is something that you have to listen to, audience, and everybody out there listening. Free resources. This is what you're asking for. Bridget, keep going. Tell us what you have.
No, thank you so much, Brian. And the one thing I will say is we are this amazing core of volunteers, which I'll talk about in a minute. But not all of our volunteers are retired. About 30% of our volunteers are still working. And that's one of the things I'll talk to you about during this hour that we get to be with you as well, is that you have expertise, you have knowledge. So if it's something that you would consider being a volunteer or a presenter at SCORE, we welcome you to join that as well, to expand your network and to give back to the entrepreneur community. But what do? We help small businesses. We are here to help, to be by your side. And we do that through three primary ways: free business advice, through, with mentoring, guidance. It is free. Yes, no catch. Just like SBDCs, our mentoring is always free. And we are here for one question or 100,000 questions. We are here for the life of your business. The next service that we provide is education. We do webinars just like this all across the country. We also have local workshops now that the country is opening back up. It's a great opportunity not just to learn from experts in that particular subject matter area, but also to network with like-minded individuals, just like you're doing here. And then on score.org, we have a wealth of business resources and information. That's really meant to be that step-by-step guidance that goes along with the mentoring and education to keep you on that right track, to make it so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel for yourself. And Brian, just like you were saying, I mean, how do we do this? We have 10,000 volunteers, people in the communities who are willing to give back and share their been there, done that expertise with all of you, so that you can avoid those pitfalls and, find your success. And we are located all across the country, 250 chapters, more than 1,500 locations.
Wow. You definitely cover the country there. Now, the people that you connect us up with, so you're going to go into how we can actually connect up with our local SCORE office, and then also how we connect up with somebody that you assign to us. Now, Bridget, the people that we would end up getting connected with, how do you vet them? How do you find all these volunteers? And how do we know that we can trust them with our ideas and our business?
Sure. It's a great question. And if I won't make you too dizzy, I'll go to forward a couple of slides. But first, let me just say, we have an application process for our volunteers. You can see two of them here, two examples. We have Karen Williams, who is a former VP of corporate contracts at Northrop Grumman. We also have Chani Sudana, who launched her career at Google, and she actually used SCORE for her own small business. They are both amazing mentors, and you can see the quotes at the bottom there that the people they worked with have had to say about Karen and Chani there. And we have, again, thousands of these people at your fingertips to help you. Now, SCORE has a strict code of ethics that every volunteer must take and review every year. If you do not take our code of ethics, you cannot mentor. So we are very strict with that. And then we have an onboarding process where people sit in on mentoring sessions to observe. We have our SLATE mentoring methodology, which walks every mentor through how to mentor and how to provide that best service. And we also have a net promoter score after every first and fourth mentoring session, where we ask you, did it help you? Would you recommend our services? What feedback do you have? So that we can give that back to our mentors who are amazing. And also, if there might be a challenge, we can use that to help coach and guide and make sure that we're providing the best quality service no matter where you interact with SCORE.
Very nice. We have some comments that are coming in. We have a SCORE mentor. I have a SCORE mentor, and he's amazing. Another audience member is asking, are there background checks on all SCORE volunteers?
There are, yes.
Okay. All right.
So, this is all wonderful. And one of the things that's, it's great to have help, but one of the things we were talking about and what the amazing people at the beginning, there's a lot of good tips, but when you are in it, you're in the business. I mean, you're just head down trying to get done what you need to get done. It can be really hard to recognize when it's time to ask for help. It can be hard to ask for help and accept help. So one of the things I think it's really important to share is that this help makes a difference. So thanks to SCORE volunteers in 2021, during the height of the pandemic, when businesses were really struggling, SCORE mentors helped to start over 25,000 new businesses and helped to add over 71,000 new jobs to the economy. So we really do work to make sure we're making a meaningful difference in the lives of those people we're looking to help. And really what that means is like, you're not in it alone. We're here to help, just like everyone was saying before. And like Brian has been saying this entire show. I mean, we're here to help with our mentoring, which is that one-on-one, it's confidential, it's personalized, it is for you. And Brian, you talked about, how do you get a mentor? You can go to score.org. There are two ways to get a mentor. If you're not sure what you're looking for, you can enter in your zip code. The local SCORE chapter will ask you some questions and pair you with the best mentor for you. If you have a better idea of what type of person you're looking for, whether it's geographic location, background, industry, experience, you can search our mentors on score.org and request that specific mentor. So we are here again to help and to meet your needs as the people we are here to serve.
Now,
and again, you can find our workshops there too.
Great. Bridget, let's say that I'm in Long Island and I notice that there's an unbelievable potential mentor in California. Is that something that I can connect online now? Because I used to go into the physical office of SCORE.
It is one of the silver linings of this pandemic is that this virtual world that we live in now has made it much easier to connect with the best mentor for you. One of our mantras is one SCORE. So it's no longer, the Long Island SCORE chapter or the Fairfield County SCORE chapter or the Austin, Texas SCORE chapter. We are all together. It's really important to have connections in our communities, right? Just like you were talking about with your library and their specific local laws and regulations that we have to know. So it's really important for SCORE to be a part of your local communities. But if you see that expert in California, you can certainly connect with them and have virtual meetings with them. You can also have a local mentor. You can have more than one mentor and they can work together and share notes. Many of our clients have had more than one mentor to help them along their business journey and have been extremely successful.
Very nice. It's interesting, Bridget. We have Kelly Twitchell. She'll be on a little bit later as a success story that came out of SCORE. But there's many of the audience members like Alexis that I just put up that says SCORE was my first stop. My two mentors, glad to be with you. In addition to guidance, they gave me confidence, forever thankful. So you got,
that's wonderful.
You got a good fan club here in our audience.
Well, and just like Charlene was saying with her book and the imposter syndrome, she's had suggested calling a friend and talking it out, which is great. I love that. SCORE can be that friend too. If you're not sure, if you're doubting yourself, we are here to help you and to talk things through and to make sure you are on the right track. So excellent. Alexis, I am so glad you found that confidence with your mentors. That's fantastic.
Great. Bridget, now I see on your slide that you have business, sound decisions for your business, and you have a partner. Now, there might be a lot of inventors, somebody that has an idea in their head. Maybe they made a prototype. They're not sure if they want to start a business. Maybe they're looking to license to earn royalties. They're not sure. How can SCORE help somebody that has an idea?
It is a great question. So 1/3 of the people that come to SCORE are just thinking about starting a business, just the kind of group that you talked about, Brian. So we are very skilled at helping people decide, do you want to go into business? Is this idea feasible? What steps do I need to take in order to make this successful? Because as many of you may know, there is a pretty high failure rate for startups in the first 6 quarters of when they're looking to open their doors. So one, we have mentors that have expertise in that feasibility study, that idea vetting, making sure this is something that's right for you. We also have, based on that information, that experience that we have over years and years, this startup roadmap resource. So it basically takes you through the journey of whether or not you can and should start up a business, given all of the information there. Each step by step, with resources, and then it ties to what you should talk to your mentor about each time. So sometimes it can be really overwhelming and you're not even sure where to start. this resource gives you the tips for how to figure that out. And the goal obviously is to get you to launching your business in the most successful way. So I would encourage you all to check that out on score.org.
We have an idea for a business, for an invention, product, service, whatever it is, go to score.org. You have resources on there to help you to figure out if you should even start a business or not, if you should work on your idea or not. And then if you should, and you continue on the roadmap, then they will connect you up with resources that will match up what you're looking for as close as possible to figure out if it's a match. And then you'll have free resources, a mentor, volunteer, most of the time retired executive that'll help you. I see here that my dad is actually on our stream, and I'm not sure, Dad, I thought you were going to retire, but he's asking, how does SCORE generate income? Are the mentor consultants, do they charge a fee, and do they charge a standard fee or based on the mentor support? I'm thinking my dad might want to be a mentor, so he's trying to figure out another way to get paid.
Alex, you are welcome to join SCORE, but you will absolutely not be paid as a SCORE volunteer. So we are a 501c3. We are a nonprofit. We are primarily federally funded through the government, although we do also have a SCORE foundation that will raise dollars through corporations and individuals. The mentors do not charge anything. They cannot. It is strictly prohibited and a violation of our code of ethics. It will always be free. So again, as a nonprofit, we're not looking to raise, make revenue. We are simply looking to give back to the community. And Brian, you were talking about that startup roadmap and how SCORE can help you decide whether or not this is a business. I really think that's a great segue to bring on Kelly, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see where.
And as you bring her on, I'm happy to introduce her. But just for a little bit more background, when Kelly Twitchell was an occupational therapy graduate student in San Diego, she was inspired, just like many of you, to develop a device to help people with disabilities in their daily lives. And it's the portable pathway prototype. I practiced that before going on. She and her partner developed it, and it became an instant hit. And recognizing that this product could potentially help millions of people with disabilities have better access to the outdoors, the idea for Kelly's company, Access Tracks, was born. In 2020, she was awarded the FedEx Small Business Grant Grand Prize, which helped propel her business to the next level. And now Access Track is in 15 countries. Kelly is an amazing SCORE success story, an amazing inventor and entrepreneur. I am so thrilled to have her here with us tonight. So Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your journey?
Yes, thank you, Bridget. I appreciate the invite to be here tonight with you and Brian, and I'm happy to share kind of some background. So as you mentioned, I actually started this product, invented this product as a student. So I was in grad school for occupational therapy in 2016 and was inspired by adaptive surfers. So surfers who just happen to use a wheelchair for mobility. And they needed a way to cross the sand at the beach with independence because outdoor terrain like sand or gravel, snow, they're all barriers to people with mobility challenges. So my co-founder and I, my classmate, we said, okay, we'll try to solve this problem. And we made a prototype, tested it out with, of course, actual people and got their feedback. And the feedback was overwhelming. So that's when we decided we had to turn this into a business once we graduated OT school. And, with a degree in occupational therapy, I didn't have a background in business. I didn't have a background in engineering, in product development, any of this. So, of course, I figured out, okay, so there's got to be some help out there for people like me who want to learn more and be a much better entrepreneur, because there is such a high, unfortunately, failure rate early on. So I wanted to prevent that as much as possible. So at the time when I graduated OT school, I was living in an apartment complex by the beach here in San Diego, and a neighbor was another SCORE mentee. So he saw what I was doing one day working on my mats on the patio, and he said, "What is that? What are you doing?" And I mentioned that I was starting a business, and he said, "Hey, look, I've been getting mentorship from an organization called SCORE. I highly recommend it," because he was a small business owner as well. So that's how I got introduced to SCORE. And, early on when I was starting the company, I needed assistance with business plan development, with operations and marketing, with understanding liability insurance. And I was able to work with different SCORE experts in each of those areas, in addition to attending a workshop for developing my business model canvas. So I've used all of the different resources that SCORE has to offer, including the online workshops as well, which are on demand.
Excellent.
So definitely can speak to all of that. And I do also feel like what another guest was saying about the mentor also gave her confidence. I do believe that if you're getting mentorship and it's, you make that connection with them, especially if you get to work with them more than once, they get to know you and your business very well, and they want you to succeed. So I also felt a boost in confidence, because I think it was Charlene who was mentioning the imposter syndrome, and it's definitely there. I mean, every once in a while I still feel it too. I'm not the typical face of an inventor, right? I'm younger, I'm a female, and I don't have a background in engineering. So all of these things, it makes it difficult for me to feel that confidence automatically. So I really appreciate having people in my corner who can say, "You can do this, and here's how."
Thank you very much, Kelly. Now, when did you start your journey and how far into it are you now?
Yeah, so the first prototype was in 2016. I graduated OT school the end of 2017, and within 6 months of that, I officially launched Access Tracks in February of 2018. Within a few months of starting the company, due to current events and timing, I was able to have international sales very, very early on. So the Japan Adaptive Surfing Organization was our first international customer. And it's just been a really exciting journey being able to serve customers with disabilities, as well as serving businesses, events, and government entities like the National Park Service, who then directly serve folks of all abilities. So it's been just awesome being able to do all of that.
Well, thank you very much, Kelly, for sharing your story and inspiration to all the inventors and entrepreneurs, people that have ideas out there and are going to do something about it like you did. And you saw it in the beginning as soon as you could to realize that you needed help. You happened to stumble on your neighbor who understood and who knew about SCORE. But everybody listening and watching today, they have the access from Bridget, from you. That was the theme tonight, which is you don't have to do it alone. There's people out there that have been there, done that, and can share the experience and their expertise. And you know what? They want to give back. They feel good. And that's the experience that you get, knowing that you're going to help with or be able to have the help that you need to keep yourself moving forward. So Kelly, very much appreciate you letting us know how SCORE has helped you and how it can help other inventors and entrepreneurs out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Bridget, a couple more questions that came in, but I want to ask you because you have a very interesting background and you've seen quite a bit. I know that you're in the trenches in some of the offices, online. I know you're watching what's going on with SCORE. Can you give us some tips and advice just from seeing things from the outside looking in? And I know you're an entrepreneur yourself. Maybe you can share some words of wisdom that can keep us moving forward with our ideas. I know we have SCORE by our side, but what do you think?
Well, I think it's really important to speak to outside people no matter what. I have 2 mentors myself. And, I think it's important to make sure that you're getting outside perspectives. One of the things that we're working on in SCORE is our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative to make sure that we are actively seeking to have a wider version of perspectives, because it does prove to make the business better. I mean, there is data that proves that. So I would encourage you to seek outside perspectives. And the other thing is, along those lines, you don't have to know everything. I mean, just like Kelly was saying, she has the occupational therapy background. She had this idea, but cash flows may not have been her strong suit. So you don't have to know everything. It doesn't mean that you can't be a successful business owner. And one of the things that's great about SCORE or the SBDCs or women's business centers is we are actively looking at the trends that are out there affecting businesses today. And there's a lot, right? I mean, COVID changed things. There's the workforce challenges that people are seeing if you're looking to hire people. There's supply chain issues, which may be a potentially huge issue for inventors and figuring those things out. So there are things that are affecting small business owners, and that's where you can come to SCORE to talk about how those ideas, or those issues rather, are affecting businesses and what you can do to pivot. That's one of the things we really learned and saw a lot during the pandemic, is how resilient small business owners are. And there isn't a challenge we can't solve, but it might take some outside thinking.
Very interesting. What do you see as those hottest trends? If we were thinking about starting a business today, Bridget, and we were looking for help and support through SCORE mentors, or just kind of going at it on our own, what do you see as the hot topic these days?
Well, small business owners and entrepreneurs are really creative. So we're seeing a lot of businesses related to responding to climate change, and how those businesses can, be a resource for those problems that are arising because of climate change. We also are seeing a lot of hot topics related to what has happened since the pandemic. So remote workforce and how we can better support that. Those different changes that have come out of this crisis. So those are 2 that come to mind right now.
What are some things that, as inventors, entrepreneurs, startups, what else? We saw the roadmap, and we know that you can connect up to a SCORE mentor, and you can also sign up to volunteer. What's on your roadmap for SCORE?
It's a great question. So one of the things is, we know that not every entrepreneur is made the same. So there are different needs for different types of entrepreneurs. And one of the things we're focused on are the underserved communities. This is a big part of what we're doing as an organization. So we have developed what we call our SCORE for All hubs. And they are based in data that our entrepreneurs of different backgrounds are telling us they need more than others. So we have an Asian American Pacific Islander entrepreneur hub, rural entrepreneur hub, women, veterans, Black entrepreneurs, Hispanic entrepreneurs. Those are the hubs that currently exist and have information being added to. And we will continue to develop more as funds come in, as we find partners that are willing to help us develop those materials. But it really is important to know that it isn't one size fits all. And that's the beauty of SCORE. With 10,000 mentors, we have someone in our network who has the experience that can help you achieve your dream.
Now, if we haven't necessarily gone on score.org yet to find a mentor, to look at your resources, what is the vetting from us that you need to know that we're serious and we're real and for real about needing a mentor? Because I don't know if you have more mentors or more entrepreneurs, what the balance is there, but tell us kind of what the vetting process is, not just for the volunteers, but for the entrepreneurs.
We are here to help everyone. So even if you aren't sure what help you're looking for, please don't take that as a deterrent to ask. One of the things we are skilled at SCORE is to help peel that onion back. You may think you have a question about, I need to get funding to start this idea, but it may be that there are 3 or 4 other rungs on the ladder before you can get to that funding question. So don't let that be a deterrent. However, it is important to recognize that we are mentors. We are not paid consultants. We are not going to do the work for you. We are not going to fill out the loan application for you. We will sit with you and go through the paperwork and make sure you understand everything. We will practice your pitch with you if you're going to talk to venture capitalists or banks, but we're not going to do the work for you. So that's really what I would say is, when you come into this, know it's going to be hard work. I think you all know that already. So there's no vetting in the sense of clients, but the more you can be willing to put into it, the more you will get out of it, and the more success we want you to see.
It makes sense. And how long does the process last? Or actually, how long does the process take till we end up getting hooked up with a mentor? And is there some sort of term? And how many are we able to work with at one time?
So there are really very few limits within SCORE. The goal is to get back to you within 48 hours once you've filled out your application, which is a one-page, what's your question? What industry are you looking to have help in? The more information you can give us, the better we can pair you with a mentor. So that's the one thing, but it's not a lengthy application. You can check it out on score.org. In terms of how often, we have people who have been with their SCORE mentor for 20 plus years. They have become friends. They have attended weddings and family gatherings. They see them as an extended part of the family. So we really are here for the life of your business. And because it's free, there's no reason not to keep coming back. The other thing about, you can have as many mentors, or we would say co-mentors, as you'd like. There might be a period of time where you're starting, and so there's a mentor best for you, and then you're looking to scale up and it's a different mentor. And one of the things we can do at SCORE is help you find that next person. So we know who's in our network too, and can search the database and recommend people to you or bring people into the sessions with you.
And there's a couple of comments that came in, Bridget. I'm not necessarily going to put them on the screen, but let's say that you do connect up with a mentor that may not necessarily fit what you're looking for. What happens then?
No problem. You can simply call the number at SCORE and ask for help. You can go on the website and find a new mentor, or you can tell that chapter chair, the leader of that chapter where that mentor is connected with, hey, it's not really a great fit. I'd love to have another mentor. We are ready and willing to help you find the best fit. It could be like dating, right? I mean, you need to find the person that you feel comfortable with. So if it's not the right first fit, please don't be discouraged. Just come back and tell us, and we will make sure that you are satisfied with your mentor.
Thank you very much. And Kelly was satisfied with her mentor and mentors, right? And she's a success story that came out of SCORE. I know that National Inventor Club audience has many success stories that have come out of SCORE, and I've had a chance to work with SCORE. And now I have a chance to mentor other people with their invention ideas, licensing to earn royalties, manufacturing. I can't tell you how great I feel doing things like, I was just at PTR, Patent and Trademark Resource Center, with Will Salas there in Smithtown, and he has his part of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in his library. And I had a chance to speak and be able to help people. It's just such a rewarding feeling. So whether you are a business and you're looking to start or grow your business, like it says on Bridget's slide there, or you're looking to become a SCORE volunteer, I know my dad, 54 years in banking, I think it's time for him to become a volunteer. You're not getting paid, Dad, but volunteer. And then being able to feel comfortable and share what you have, what you're thinking about, somebody neutral, confidential, to be able to take you to the next level with your invention, your startup, being an entrepreneur. We need help out there. So Bridget, thank you very much. And Kelly, congratulations.
Thank you so much for having us, Brian. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and we hope we can help people at the National Inventors Club. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. Bridget, one last thing. Words of wisdom. There's inventors, and you've seen a lot of them. We're stuck. Maybe we are stuck at our prototype stage. Maybe we have an idea in our head. Whatever it is, give us some final words of wisdom from you, Bridget, to help us keep moving forward with our ideas.
Well, I mean, you all are resilient. Your ideas are fantastic. When you work with a mentor, whether it's SCORE or otherwise, they can help you see things from a different perspective so that you can keep moving forward in your journey. So ask for help, seek out a SCORE mentor. We are here to help. Best of luck in your journey.
Thank you so much, Bridget. Thank you very much. Thank you for SCORE for what you do. SCORE.org. Very easy. Find a mentor, help with resources, finding that roadmap where you are in that roadmap to keep you moving forward. And that's what National Inventor Club is about. Thank you so much, Bridget, for joining us. And we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks. Sounds great. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. All right. That wraps up October 2022 National Inventor Club. For those of you who are premium members, you have received a after meeting networking mastermind link. Please click on there and I will see you there. And everybody, till next time, take a look at all the past National Inventor Club meetings. If you've missed them, sign up to the Inventor Smart newsletter that's on the National Inventor Club website. Resources are very important, and that's what we shared tonight. Have a great night and see you again soon. Everybody, keep your ideas in the light and make them happen and make your dreams come true. Keep on doing what you're doing and making things happen. See you soon.